Alright, hi, I'm Daniel Martinez, and this is a prototype of my game called Realm of Mang, Abiding Void. And what it is a strategic RPG, which I can just generalize as imagine chess, except with, like, characters from, like, you see on tabletop games, like, game systems like that. And right now I'm going to explain how, like, the battle mechanics are going to work in this game. So right here on the table, I have set up a quick little battlefield, and I have landmarks such as like a pool of water that most characters cannot cross unless they have like things specifically said otherwise. I have like things such as trees that provide cover, which prevents like you from getting like hit or like makes it harder to move. So over here I have most of the enemies. So on the front line are like those people who you see constantly charging at you in battle. In the middle is the people like the archers, and the way back are like heavy mages. So for example, we have a brute here, a skeleton archer in the middle, and a soul scribe who are like mages, so to say. And over here is your party. I made it up of like 6 characters. So what you have is your basic mages, your archer, your front linemen, and so right now let's get this started. Alright, so right now one of the characters I have is a air knight, and what the best way to describe it is they're highly mobile and they get to fly over terrain and ignore cover whenever attacking. So he can move at the max range of 10 spaces. So let's say he's going to move right over here. He's going to cross the water, and normally other units cannot cross it unless they have, as I said before, other like unique modifiers that say otherwise. And since he cannot attack since there's no enemies in his range, he has to end his turn. So right next is going to be an archer. So he'll move 5 spaces diagonally down, and since he has a range of 10, he can hit this right here. So and every 10 is so since the range is 10 right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And each space is going to be 20, up to the max of, I believe it was, of 100. It's straight in the middle of 5 and 6 and it'll go back to 20 to low chances. So right now I'm going to roll 2 dice. There it is. And since it's at the max-ish range, however, since the brute is large, it's going to count as I have to roll below 40 and under. So let's see, he's going to attack. And he fails because he did not meet the criteria, so that means his turn is over. However, the mage is going to move over here. And however, since he's a magic base, he does not have to roll. He does not have to like make any checks. All he has to do is the damage. So he shoots a basic fireball, and that's gonna be 1d20. So it's gonna deal 2 damage. Disappointing now, but. And so right now the brute is taking 2 damage a turn for, let's say, 3 turns. So that would be a total of 6 damage. So after everyone ends their turn, let's say they just move. So what's going to happen is the knight's going to cover the archer to prevent, him from getting hit. And since the archer is weak within like the 9 spaces around him, he won't be able to hit. And the horseman is going to try to flank from the side. And now it's the enemy's turn. So the brutes are huge, meaning they have less movement, but they take up more space. So they're gonna move over here. However, there's a wall, but since these are huge brutes, they just sort of punch it down. And those are over right now. And what's gonna happen is the goblin's gonna follow, but the soul scryer is going to move over here, and he's gonna cast an affliction spell. So what's gonna happen is the air knight's gonna take more damage, and since that takes up his entire turn, the goblin's gonna move in and he's gonna try to hit. But since the air knight is aerial, he's gonna have to make a pass of, I'd probably say around 30. What was that?
20. 20.
Alright, so that means, since I rolled a 20, that means that the goblin actually hits, which is around a d8. And let's see, and that's +2 since the soul square's effect. And what's going to happen is I have to roll the damage reduction for an air knight, which is a d6, so that's 5. He negates 3 damage, so the air knight takes 2. So in general, this is how the combat's going to work. I'm not going entirely into depth, obviously, but I hope you get a good idea from this representation.